I recently cracked Jammu and Kashmir Civil Service examination. I got rank 46 and within RBI category I got rank 4. And unfortunately I lost my father at the tender age of 2, and with financial constraints in the family I had to shift to Srinagar orphanage, and I studied there until class 12th from class 5th. And after completing my 12th in science from the said orphanage, I went up back to my hometown and completed my graduation in life sciences for Government Degree College Doda. And later I cracked the entrance examination of Jammu University and Aligarh Muslim University. And I chose to go to Aligarh Muslim University because that is quite cost effective, and the kind of exposure that you get there is quite renowned. So I got to Aligarh Muslim University for my PG in botany. And at the same time, when I got admission in AMU, I started preparing for civil services examination, and they both worked in tandem. Like I used in the daytime I used to go to the lab, I used to cover the study of PG, and at the evening I used to contribute at least 3-4 hours for the civil services. When I got to know about how this all works, how it provides the balance to one's life, and apart from that the diversity that the civil services provide, and the kind of contribution you can make to the society by getting admitted in civil services. So it became a passion, and usually in my class 10th or 11th, I think in 11th 12th class I made it that I have to go to civil services. When I left the orphanage in class 12th, I still don't have any idea that what I have to study for civil services. I was even having medical, what we call as life sciences in my 12th. And later in the college, when I got some kind of exposure you get when you get outside, when you see the life outside. So I got to know about it. You have some kind of sessions used to be held in college, or even you get to know about through newspapers or through advertisements. So at that time when I was in college, I started reading editorials from the Hindu, Indian Express. And the thing is that you have to first see the seed. What I call seed is the syllabus. After seeing the syllabus, you will get to know about the demand of the examination. And what the demand of examination is, that you have to clear your concepts, you have to be typical in your concepts, and those concepts are cleared from NCERTs. The thing is that you have to see what syllabus demands from these NCERTs. For example, in history, although you have to prepare from class 6 to 12, but geography doesn't demand that, or economics doesn't demand that. For geography, you can even start from class 9th or only of class 11th NCERT, that is Indian Physical Geography, that is mostly asked in the examination. And in economics, you have to start from class 11th, micro and macroeconomics. And in political science, you can only read about Indian constitution at work, that is most required for this examination. And apart from that, some standard books like Lakshmikant, etc. After completing your NCERTs, you have to look for just one standard book for one paper. Like in polity, we have two books, that is one is D.D. Basu and another one is Lakshmikant. You can only rely on one, either Lakshmikant or D.D. Basu. Or in environment, you have plethora of books. You can only rely on one. Shankar IAS is there, PMF notes are there. You can only fix yourself on one book, and that's enough. What we can say that the kind of disease that can be cured by a single medicine, and those single medicines are just one book. And apart from that, when we will go to the current affair portion, usually we are asked that you have to read newspapers. From newspapers, you can read the editorials that are important for you, not those kind of editorials that you can see that they are politically motivated, etc. At the end of the day, from a website, you have to choose only one, because if you will go for multiple, you have plethora of information, you have plethora of videos, everything is there, but you have to choose just one and focus on that. And if you will focus on only one thing, and it will be quite helpful for you. Apart from that, in economics portion, what is most required is economic survey, budget and government schemes. These are the three things that you have to keep in mind. And economic survey or budget, that's a vast document. What you can do is, you can simply from some website, those coaching institutes that are based in Delhi, they usually upload the summary of those, summary of budget, summary of economic survey. You can get all these information from there. Apart, YouTube also provides you some content about it. and those owners of the website, the content providers of the website, know what is required for this examination, and they usually pick out only those points that are required. You don't need to watch the press conferences, you don't need to watch even some news channels or news. Rajya Sabha TV is important, but if you are not having TV, what will you do? So these are also things. You don't need to focus like whole day on this. You have to be quite of you have to be innovative. Like, if I have to study, I will study it in less time. Confining oneself to room doesn't guarantee that you will get into the civil services, but reading the exact thing that is required for civil services, preparing in a way that the syllabus and demand of examination is. And the thing is that when you will look at the previous year question papers, you will get to know about the mindset of the examiner. Motivation was the passion that was inside me and the courage that I was having. So apart from there were certain hiccups in the recruitment process from the very beginning. First 2018 advertisement, then there came some issues. But the thing is that you have to keep yourself focused on the studies. You don't have to look outside what is happening there. If you will focus on those issues, you will certainly get distracted. For me, following the proper timetable was not possible, because I was continuously doing post-graduation in botany from Aligarh Muslim University. What I did was, I usually gave at least 3 or 4 hours daily, but it does at some time it was not possible for me to give the time. So what I did was, at Sunday I used to cover all that. जो self confidence है वो होना चाहिए आप में, but over confident नहीं आप होने चाहिए. For ethics, I will recommend for all those students, there is a YouTube channel called Sleepy Classes that provides you all the basic knowledge of ethics. And after that, what you have to do is, there is a portion that is case studies portion that constitutes about 125 150 marks. That's a major portion in ethics. What you have to do is, you have to solve those case studies from internet, from some standard books. Try to solve those case studies, because case studies are very important for ethics portion. To be frank, I only relied on NCRTs. I relied on economic survey summary, budget, and schemes of the government, and for me that were quite enough. I didn't consult any book for economics, because I was from science background, and it was quite tough for me. It would usually take for 3-4 hours daily for me to study economics in depth, and I thought that it is not required for me to study in that much depth. So I usually concentrated myself on just NCRTs. Internet is always important, but the thing is that you have to differentiate that what is required for, I will again say, what is required for civil services and what it is not required. You have to link whatever you read, you have to link it with the syllabus. Is it required for this syllabus or not? If your family is not financially sound, you don't need to go to coaching institute. There is information available. And still, if your family is sound, if you are able to give those lakhs to the coaching institutes, it is up to you. But I would suggest that there is also information available free, and that is quite satisfactory. And most students usually cover the syllabus through that information that is free. You have to see that the subjects that are scoring are the things that can guarantee you success. What I did is, I approached it through OOE, that is optional, ethics and essay. Those 4 papers that students don't focus on, they constitute about 1000 marks. And the GS1, GS2, GS3, that usually students give about 70% of their time, they just constitute about 750 marks. So what I did was, I usually focused on that OOE approach, and the GS1, 2 and 3, I usually gave them the time that they required. And at the end, when you will go for the answer writing, you have to see that what is the demand of the question, that is demands the economic impacts, that is demand the social impacts. You have to write down only that portion that is required, that is asked by the question. Regarding the interview, the perception that is outside is completely false. When you will enter in the interview room, the first thing that they will do is, that they will calm you down, they will bring you at your best, and after that whatever the questions will be asked that are quite answerable, and they will only test your knowledge that is he able, when we will put him in the administration, when we will put him in any kind of field, will he be able to give his best. And the thing is that they won't check your knowledge, and they won't make you uncomfortable, they will try their best to make you comfortable. The interview board that will ask you about your knowledge, about your background subject, about your region, about the geopolitical issues that are happening worldwide, and they will only take your opinion, that what is your opinion about it, and what do you feel about it. The thing is that they won't test your knowledge, but they will test your opinion, and that's it.